Is ready to drop. The lights are on. Let's get things going here on Sandhawk. Everybody's favorite tiny map where you can't hide forever. We like it for our, we ran this pretty exclusively for our finals for seasons 1 through 3, and we had a lot of action, Degon. And I hope this time around we can replicate that here in game number 3 today.
Me too. A lot of action later on, but let's see some early on. Who's got the cojones to drop right on in here? The coconuts, since we're over here on the Sandhawk, to just drop in and fight and say, hey, we're better than you. And have it be more than one team and not have the fight stall out like we've seen a couple of them beforehand. It does look like Hype and Red Reserve are going to be next to each other. That's kind of a close drop here. Other than that, everyone being pretty fit. Oh, no. Also, the Marksman going to be to the south as well. So kind of clunky drops early between Marksman and Best Kept Secret. And that's going to be an important one for Best Kept Secret. You know, you get your first 2 games, 2 points. You got to get double digits on the board by game 3 if you're looking to get into striking distance.
2 games are now in the books. You've got to step up now. Like we have 8 games total, so no team is out of this yet. But the tide has to start turning here. It has to start turning now. Teams are fairly split up here. Looks like Prism and C9 a little bit close. Fearless spread out a touch. Maybe going to be running into Red Reserve a little bit here, but of course PK. This is PK is just they pick him. Degon.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I will say at least PK get the circle this time. So I expect them to not lose someone on a vehicle in transition multiple times. They should have a easier time looting on up and then getting themselves out of dodge safely. Hopefully they'll be able to get there safely. So weird circle. It keeps all 3 islands in play. But a lot of the time, if the northwestern island is in play, you do exactly what Jagger's doing. You run towards the cliffs. Cliffs, such a strong place to hold. We've seen a lot of circles end in that area. And if you're on top, like no one can really shoot you unless you're making a major mistake. And even if you get knocked, you just crawl back a couple of steps and you're in a good spot. So I think PK playing this one right. And hopefully they'll be able to continue to do so and bounce back as one of the more veteran teams in this lobby.
For sure. Now, and I started to see that at the end of game number 2. I started to see them taking those smart fights, sitting right on the edges, being sort of a scalpel and not a sledgehammer, just sort of inserting themselves into some of these engagements, picking up kills where they could, and not really going too crazy, and ended up paying off for them a decent amount there. They are sitting at 14 points now. But we'll see if they can continue to keep it up. JCR, another one of these teams that has been suffering from early casualties, which has sort of forced them into this mindset of just survive. And I need to see more from them than just surviving here. This is a team, one of these squads we mentioned before, they're seasoned veterans of the Mobile Open, but who've yet to really take that next big step up the ladder in competitive PUBG Mobile. I have high hopes for them. Magic and the crew need to pull a rabbit out of their hat this game, make something happen here on Sandhawk.
Yeah. Also helps when you have all your members load on in. So this time they're fighting 4 as Red Reserve going to run right into Fearless, and Starluck trying to land these shots but gets 2-manned, double teamed to get knocked early on. This is going huge here for Fearless, and that is not the start you want if you're Red Reserve. Down Starluck, now Rage also knocked. Ralphino's made some big plays before, but I think Ralphino, Skies, and the rest of Red Reserve trying to figure out what the next steps are. Do you try to get out of dodge with 2 and survive, or do you try to force this one? It is very early, so there's a low likelihood that this is going to be the block party fight. I like to call it when one team runs into another team and then every team feels like they can just hop on in because they know where the fights are going on. So Ralphino and Sky is going to play this one a little bit slower, as well as Fearless. I like this from Fearless. They're not getting too aggressive saying, hey, look, we got him knocked. We got to go and push and flush. It's kind of this open area with a lot of trees, a lot of rocks, and here we go. Coast on the flank, getting caught out, but now they have the information on where Skies is.
Ooh, but Skies is taking some shots there. Coast able to line that one up. Skies just forced a bandy here. No medkits in his inventory. And Rage is trying to make his way back, but he's bleeding out here, Degon. I'm not sure he's going to be able to get there in time. Fearless playing it just with that, and there's the execute, confirming the kill. I like this, though. Leafy with his head on a swivel. There's no thirst here. There's no over-aggression. There's just discipline, a flank, and an awareness that I am making a lot of noise, and I need to make sure we don't get third-party. This is looking really nice from Fearless.
Yeah, and if you're... I don't mind the play there by Rage, but basically you're telling the rest of Fearless exactly where the guys are at.
Sort of cut you off there, D-Gum. I'm looking at this flank coming on in. LOS is up there. This is going to be the pincer move in a big way.
Yeah, Los. Actually, being the distraction because Coast. It's Los to Coast. Now Coast trying to work his way on in. Sky's last one alive. He's, doing some smoke stuff. He's going to get snuffed out here in just a second. Oh, and they're rolling in with the shotties. That is awesome. The S12's coming through, and they stomp it out in a big way. And Red Reserve, after we highlight their team, they get to watch the rest of the broadcast with everyone else at home. Knocked out first here. No one else knocked out of the lobby, too, so missing out on a great opportunity for points.
Oh, man, they're just running up this hill. They see two giant rocks in front of them, and then all of a sudden, two guys in perfect unison pop out from behind those rocks and shoot you in the face with assault rifles. Not a great time. Not a great day here in game number 3, but again, there's still plenty of opportunities. There are 8 games total to play between today and next week, so they're not out of this yet. One bad performance here isn't going to be the be-all, end-all, though, of course, we would have liked to have done a little bit better there, but props to the crew over there at Fearless, able to pick those ones up. A full, complete squad wipe and no casualties of their own. That's actually a very, very solid accomplishment because every single one of these players has the capability of just taking one back from you. They're all great shots.
Yeah, and I'll definitely caveat it a little bit saying you don't expect when you're not hot dropping next to another team that you're going to run into a team. But maybe a little bit of a fault here for Red Reserve, rotating as only 2. You only had 2 people up front. The 2 trailers weren't in a position to trade back. So maybe that's the only thing you get to really talk about. But other than that, feels like it's bad luck. And they weren't really putting themselves in a position where it was an even gunfight, a fair gunfight where you could at least peek or you had a 1v1 or a 2v2. So just back to the drawing board on this one. I wouldn't dwell on that too much if I was Red Reserve.
No, that was, again, you're running up a hill, you've got no intel, and 2 guys pop out and shoot you. I mean, again, there's just not a whole lot you can do about that one. There's not really a whole lot of ways they could have played that differently other than maybe, again, you could nitpick that all day long. We're not going to do that here. Again, reset, watch the lobby with the rest of us, see what you can glean from this game, because, of course, we will be seeing Sandhawk again in the pool over the next couple of weeks. As we're seeing another team there on the horizon there, of course, we have JCR, all 4 members still alive, yay, but also the Marksmen, who have had little flashes of brilliance over the game so far. I've seen Snipe actually being one of these great examples. Pull off just that. Some awesome shots at range, able to pick up some downs, maybe not necessarily finish a ton of kills, but I think if they are able to coordinate that pure gun skill with a little bit better rotation and some solid communication, we could have another solid team here on our hands, D-Gon. And clearly they are already solid. They made it here to the playoffs.
Yeah. Need to see a little bit more team play out of them, but Snipe was able to get to that gunfight you're talking about against Cloud9 out of all teams. So not afraid to back down from anybody. But you see the way that they're rotating right now. Everyone's clumped up together, and I think that's fine early on here in these early rotations. Stay together. If you're going to take shots, call it out. And you see JCR now being the recipient of these shots. It's not a gift that anybody would want. And JCR now having to hold.
Yeah. Kilo. That's another name. Real quick from the Marksman. Ninth Circle, I want to say. I'm trying to think if I've seen that name before here in the mobile open.
It might have been Ninth Circle.
It might have been. It's definitely a name that I'm familiar with. I'm glad to see that he's continuing to find a place here. Groza. If there was a map to find a Groza on, D-Gon, would it be Sandhawk?
It should be Sandhawk. Also, for some reason, there was a extended sniper mag in that. Did you see that? It was a Groza and extended sniper mag. What am I supposed to do with this? It doesn't fit. Why do I have this part that doesn't work?
It's just like the kid, and you got those like block toys, and you've got like the triangle and the circle and the square, and he's just slamming the square peg into the round hole. Like, this ain't working, team.
Yeah.
No, Don't just duct tape the clip to your gun. You're good to go. I need duct tape in PUBG Mobile. Just like make it work. Do imagine the crafting with that. My goodness. Duct tape.
Dang, if there was crafting in PUBG Mobile, I feel like that would take a long time. You would get a lot more campers. There's already a lot of sneaky snakes going on, but I can only imagine how many more there would be.
Just like one additional piece of gear. You can just slap on like I wanted a grip, but this gun doesn't support a grip, or I want a stock and this gun doesn't support it. Let me slap one additional piece of gear on here. It's Battle Royale, D-Gun. I feel like anything should we can talk about game mechanics another time. Let's take a look at where the circle is going to update to. Already towards the southwest here. Everybody, this is pretty straightforward. This is actually going to be pretty good for everybody. Nobody's really going to get caught out with this one.
Yeah, I'm trying to see it. No crazy mountains of the Northwest, though. So anyone that was over in Camp Alpha, not going to benefit from that. As PK, they rotated off that spot relatively early. I don't think I would have. I think I probably would have stayed there just in case because it's such a powerful spot. And here in the southwestern island, you still have a chance that it can hard shift east. Painan might be the best spot for some teams to hang out for now, kind of control the bridges across the two rivers here. But as you said, it doesn't look like these teams are going to step on each other's toes too much. You do have the teams in the middle of the circle fighting for the spot. So you do have Venerated, our game 1 winners, game 2 last placers, looking for some space. But J7 getting a little too aggressive and trading out. Again, not in a position where the rest of his team can cover. So best kept secret will get a trade back here. And right on the other side of the ridge, looks like the marksman as well. So again, that block party invitation might be coming very, very soon.
Oh boy, especially because Venerated is also getting in on the action. Jagger goes down as well. Pittsburgh Knights once again finding them in a situation where they take shots. They want to start and engage, but they not only can they not finish it, but they invite more pain than they dish out, and that is not an ideal situation because all these teams are looming as Raven's going to get knocked as well. PK, the next one up here, is Venerated. The winners from game number 1 are able to pick up another team here, knock them on down. Pittsburgh Knights are on the edge of disaster right now, D-Gon.
I don't know, man. I mean, chat's probably following up with it here. Little nervous here for PK, man. It sucks that they didn't get Everest and they had to rotate in late, which means they could, a possibility that they run into a team like Venerated, but it's looking a little scary. Looking a little scary here.
You're seeing some knocks in the kill feed as well, though. Cloud9 actually looking towards Fearless. This team picked up our kills in the start of this game. As Nito. Some pretty neato shots there. Long range. I'll pick that one up. Now it's just G3. Alone. Against the world.
Yep.
Like a young sparrow. Just thrust from the nest. Just to try and fly on his own. I started talking in this voice, D-Gon, and I didn't know where to take it. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I feel like I had to own the bit
all right.
at that point.
All right, Paul. I guess now is time to start talking about wildlife and
welcome back, Tanner Gonzalez. I
philosophy.
Talking to you earlier.
Yeah,
welcome.
I was here with my buttoned-up shirt. It was not camo, and it was blue.
I really did try and find you a camo tie for the finals, though, last season. I really
did. You didn't try hard enough. We didn't find one, man. Hey,
I did, but then they weren't in studio, and I thought it would be weird to have you in a tie at home, so we just didn't do it.
If anyone wants to hook me up with the camo tie, send it on over. Slide in my DMs with the camo tie, and I will we'll make it happen. I like to hear Rojas was just there. You could just see him. He was locked in on where he wanted to aim. He knows where G3 is, and just kind of like bouncing up and down his accuracy. He's just like, yeah, just right here, just kind of chilling right now. You see him do it over and over again, holding G3 there. But man, PK. Might this be a season 3 Tempo Storm-esque situation where one of our big teams struggles out of the gate and then has to turn it on late to try and qualify into the finals? I hope it doesn't happen here for PK. Oh,
that's maybe not the hill. That's maybe not the hill, Cloud9. That's maybe not the one. Unfortunately, that's a skinny tree and not a lot of options here for Bayo. The first knock's already coming on through. Smokes are out. Maniac and crew now. You go a little bit ballistic. I'm not just talking about rage. I'm talking about literal ballistics. They need to throw some grenades, Degon, is what I'm saying. We'll see if they can line those up, and they can. But it's actually Hype going in as well, joining in on the fray from long. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, uneven.
There's the call. Cloud9's like, yeah, we got to back up. Time to rotate ourselves out of this poor situation. Yeah. Uneven's confidence running up the hill against a team. Not going to work out well for him. And Cloud9 have to reset and try to come up with a new plan, because what they were doing there, not working, is... Whoa, we lost one!
Oh, boy. Okay. Yep. All right.
No, get away from your vehicle! Alessino forced to heal on up and execute, saying thank you very much. We appreciate the kills. If I'm with Taco or Tashu, I'm pretty bummed with the way that ride went. Now Alessino getting shot in the back, forced to retreat and run away. Should be able to get himself out to safety, and he's going to be a hut homie. Going to chill himself into a hut, hiding quite some time. Oh no, he's going to run right on into the marksman. Oh, the marksman, they're just going to get more points. And Alessino just has that spidey sense, stops, and he's going to be a tree hugger instead.
Hut buddy, or hut homie.
A hut homie.
Hut homie. Sorry. Yes. Rebellion. You know, they're obviously now. I mean, I feel like if you're going to name your team Rebellion, you need to figure out who you're rebelling against, Degon. And at this point, I don't necessarily know. You see, I'm getting like a rebel without a cause right now. Yeah. A little bit of that vibe. Because, I mean, being a tree hugger is one thing, and, you know, saving the environment, admirable cause.
Yeah.
But I feel like in the context of a battle royale, maybe, okay, rock, meat, hard place. Okay. As the marksman, once again living up to the name, able to get multiple downs now.
Use your body! Use your body! Body block!
Meat shield!
Wow, it worked! Oh, wow. That was a great trade back and forth by both these squads. They're at least on the flank trying to get some shots, not going to land it. But Execute, able to body block and get the revive on up. That was very, very close. And Snipe, again, he didn't have the jump on these shots, but was able to bounce back and land the shots before he got knocked. So he went 1 for 1 in a situation where he very easily could have gotten knocked and flushed. But surprising by both squads. The gunfire of Snipe and the body blocking of the 3 members of Execute.
How do you beat a good play? Make a good play of your own. No, this is what I'm kind of coming to expect now from these teams who have made it here into the playoffs. There is a reason of all the teams that competed here in North America in Season 5 that they are in the top 32. As it looks like Painan is going to be ground zero here. Oh yeah, as that is a dead center circle. Everybody's going to have to run in. This is going to be some conflict, and there's not a whole lot of. I mean, you can try and take over the city, but it's going to be. I don't think chaotic's the right word, Degon. What's the step above chaotic?
The anarchic.
Anachronistic. Yeah, it's anarchy. It's gonna be anarchy. Yes.
Anarchic. Anarchaic. What is it? Cloud9, I would say, just hang out on your side. Your building is in. Otherwise, it seems pretty dangerous to run straight into the middle of that area. I don't know if there's. I can't remember if there's if it's hilly, but I'm pretty sure it's not the safest to be smack dab in the middle. So we might have another circle that finishes kind of like what we saw originally on Erangel, where everyone's kind of on the edges, and then once the circle has to go, it's whoever blinks first is going to get punished here.
Speaking of blinking,
yeah, wait, what? I was like, there's a member of Rebellion in this house, and now the marksman gets in trouble. Jinx. Not lucky there, but able to pick up one. It was Snipe, so the big fragger for this squad for the marksman goes down early due to a sneaky snake.
I mean, that could have actually got a lot worse than the marksman. They double shoulder peek that. Both players are going through together, making sure they're taking that as a strict 2v1. Not enough bullets in the clip to make that one happen. As Hype are continuing to pick up downs of their own throughout. Best kept secret. All 4 members alive have this compound to themselves right now, Degon, this might be the opportunity for the team coming into this in last place to really up their game, to really up their standing after this one. Because again, no one is out of this yet. Prism as well, another one of these teams that have gone toe-to-toe with it. But they were taking down Cloud9 in that last game. We're the team to take down Cloud9 in that last game. Oh, man, but Hype and Null back and forth as well, as you can see in your kill feed. Oh, my goodness. The action just does not stop.
JCR hopping into the action with Execute as well. So fights all across the map right now as it's circle time. Zone 4 into Zone 5. That's when the fighting really turns on here. As Rad has gotten some shots down onto Swift. Swift still checking to see if his phone's working. Make sure he can heal himself on up as he's hiding behind the rocks for now. Donut trying to get the peek here onto the rest of the members of Hype. We'll check in with that fight in just a little bit. Now Goliath for Prism. He's got the AWM. Sees JCR in the distance. And again, JCR outside the circle right now? Yeah, on the opposite side of the circle right now. Maniac has the M24. He's looking here, seeing if he can get an angle here on the Scuba. Scuba went diving with the nades last time. Sammy has to play the zone. This is going to be difficult for JCR yet again. This might be another 1-point game because look at him. Not a lot of heals here. Use the first aid. Needs to rotate on in and has to mad dash himself into the zone. And Jag's got his number.
This is going to be a tough run here. The shots from Jag are just so spot on. That's going to be the zone to clean that one up. Accelerate. Not going to get the down for that. So not going to get the final kill. A little unfortunate there, but still beautiful shots. Taking down another member there as Magic is going to fall. As we move on in with VR, the team that won game number 1, taking on a Survival in the Crew. This is going to get interesting. They don't have a whole lot of real estate to work with right now, Degon, and the nades are raining in. This could actually be disastrous here for VR, who went out last in game number 2. They need to step up here as well if they want to continue to work their way up the leaderboard and continue to build the legacy they started in game number 1.
Yeah, this is a great spot here for Hype. They get to play Gatekeeper. They're inside Painan against Venerated, who they know they've already knocked one, but instead of sitting and waiting, they want to make sure they're safe on their spot here. And now getting shot from distance. I think that was Venerated getting some dishing back here as Galaxy and the rest of Prison on the outside trying to work their way up against Accelerate. And Accelerate doing a good job spreading out across the multiple different compounds, landing shots at the teams on the outside. Cloud9, you wanted them to move early. They are kind of moving. They're moving across the outskirts of the zone. Now forced to head on in. There is a compound that was inside. As the circle pops, and it's just more centering up here. It's going to be a lot of nothing. So teams are going to be hanging around the outside. You see Pyra holding one of the guard towers and just able to shoot on down. And Scuba, he's forced to heal Stratton on up. Because look at all those members he's facing. It's Execute, it's Accelerate. Going to try to heal himself into a couple more places. Goes for the run here. I don't think he's going to make it.
Yeah, he's at a first aid, so that run is not going to be very long-winded. He's just going to die to the blue out there. And we did see a Venerated die as well out there, going out in 10th place, I believe. So this is where the action is really starting to heat up. Circle 5, Circle 6, this is where things get interesting. It's uneven, of course, is down now for Cloud9, but 3 members should be more than enough to make some magic happen here. They're positioning, though, a little bit questionable up on the hill. They are going to have to rotate on in. They don't have the city. They don't have the cover like Hype and the rest of the crew does as well. Best kept secrets moving in. I mentioned them before. The marksmen are starting to get into a bit of a fight here. Zeus needs to strike. I hope the Lightning can strike twice because he needs to be able to make something wild happen up against all 4 members of Hype there in the distance. His teammates are behind him. Let's see what he can do. He actually catches Cloud9, though, out in the fight. I cannot believe the shots, though. Beowulf, you're not supposed to win those.
Yeah, but it buys enough time for Asazuki to start shooting at Perkasas. So Perk is down. Beowulf gets a quick peek. There he is. He's going to shoot Maniac in the back and now has to work his way onto the rock, get himself safely to Perkasas, hides behind the tree. Now he's a tree hugger, but Cloud9 worked their way on in. Marksman, they did the work early to get themselves in. Now they're trying to gatekeep. Best kept secret are being kept out of the circle. Coop's trying to get himself on in, and he gets Koopa popped right there by Kilo, weighing a ton. Able to clean that one out. Pyra, he's got himself in a great spot to gatekeep a lot of these teams. Oh, Pyra, that's an action. Does he know?
I don't know if he knows.
He doesn't know. Okay, nades are fine. I guess it's fine. You see him look around. He's like, I think I heard a nade behind me.
Oh, well, people throwing nades, but that's weird. It's like the corner of this building just seems slightly like 3 inches wider than I thought it was. Two random things that have no coincidence. They're not connected at all.
Look at this. This is just a big clump of 3 teams here.
And the last man standing now is Jag from Accelerate. Potentially going to go out here in 5th place. The hill straight up, just trying to survive a little bit longer, but the action is slowed down. Won't be slowing down for long as the circle is going to start to move. Jag is 3 more of these to work with. The rest of his team is going to go down. Well, very likely they're going to go out here in 5th. Let's jump back on board with Hype, though, Degon. They have been in a pretty good position right now. We'll see if they can continue to make this work happen with all 4 members still alive. This is actually a huge opportunity for them. They know that Pyra's still here on the flank. They've got to keep an eye out, but I'm not sure how much damage he can do 1v4.
Yeah, I don't think they know that Jay is over here in this corner, and Jay has 3 first aids to work with, so he could heal on up and possibly move on up a couple positions. And there it is, Accelerate, get knocked out in 5th place. So that's 1 position that Jay's moved on up. Pyra's doing the same thing. So you got a bunch of healers on the outside here.
And this is really just looking like Hype's game to lose as Pyra trying to survive a little bit longer. He's actually going to take some shots, but no, he goes down. Asen's actually the one to pick that one up, and Jay is going to fall as well. Dies to the blue, which means that this is now a 4v2 situation. And who is it? None other than Execute there over on the side. Oh my goodness.
Survival. He's rotating on over. Also just want to note real quick, Marksman move up 1 position because of the heel strap play, and it was by a little bit, so it was really close. Pyra, there wasn't much he could do. Goes down, and Cloud9 take 4th place, and now Echo getting rotated on. Leon can see his legs. Fame gets taken down. Echo tries to wide swing, not gonna be able to close it out, and Hype coming back to back. Rad, Leon, Ason going huge here with another chicken dinner.
11 kills to boot. Degon, that was another solid series of plays, able to just sort of leapfrog their way through. Fine on there at the end, just take a building, own it. Porcupine, taking some downs, get some maybe follow up some kills, and then continue to move on to the next one. But they were just taking it slowly, tactically, pulling the trigger when they needed to, hitting that go button when they needed to, but never overextending. Always having a buddy at their back, just the basics, the fundamentals, done well. I wouldn't even say necessarily Circle Luck really came in. It was a lot of central circles. There were no crazy hard shifts. They just sort of played the game how they wanted to. They reacted to when things were thrown their way. And that's the kind of play that's going to get you back-to-back chicken dinners. There's the reason they were coming in as one of our teams to watch, and also number 1 in this lobby. It's not just number of games grinded, Degon. The performance shows that they deserve that number 1 spot in Group 2.
I also want to give a second to shout out to Execute, because think about the moment where they lost a member from distance against the Marksman. It was Snipe, right? Snipe got the shot back. You had 1 member down, and the rest of the guys used their body to body block those shots, trying to finish the kill. And they now were able to bounce all the way up to 2nd and pass Marksman, who finished in 3rd place. So if they would have lost a member there, how things could have possibly been different. So pretty cool chain of reaction of things there for Execute as they find themselves another top spot.
Yeah, really, really solid play. But let's take another look back at it with our Xperia highlights. Another bit of a slow burn, this time punctuated with some serious action, some fights early on. Kept that early game interesting. But Degon, let's take another look.
Yeah, early on, unlucky for Red Reserve to run into Fearless. And Red Reserve, our first team knocked out. Just didn't have information that Fearless was there. Didn't like the formation that they were pushing. Didn't quite work out. And Pittsburgh Knights, man, biting off a little bit more than they could chew. And then Team Venerated just coming in and cleaning out the Knights. And the Knights probably getting squired right now because it looks like they're working backwards here against some of these other teams. And this is the play I was talking about, right? That was such a great play to body block. 1 bullet would have done it there, and that would have changed the complexion of everything. As the Marksmen, they rotated in first, got some high quality prized real estate. You saw Accelerate. They tried to make some plays early, weren't quite able to close it out. They went out in 5th place and then execute. It was 4v2. This was Hype's game to win. As you said, they rotated in. They played the game as it came to them, and they found themselves a chicken dinner. And now securing a top spot position as we move closer and closer to the end of the day.